I've always had an appeal to the teaching world. My mom is a preschool teacher, and I don't know, it's always been something that's fascinated me. Even as a younger kid, I used to play with my siblings and cousins in the basement. We'd have a chalkboard and I'd pass out papers. It was just always something that I wanted to do. And I think a big thing for me as well is I always have wanted to make some kind of positive impact. So why not the classroom?
She deeply cares about students. She deeply cares about the people she works with. She deeply cares about this community. And she very much exemplifies what a teacher of the year should be in everything she is and she seeks to do.
Ultimately, I was just incredibly honored that I would get the recognition at all. This has been a hard year for every teacher. I think every teacher should be Teacher of the Year, and I mean it. Like, I've seen so many people go through their own personal struggles and they've made it through. You know, they're pushing through every single day, making the best of it. So, I mean, I'm flattered that I got the recognition. I'm honored, but I'd give the title to many if I could.
She's very humble. She's very humble. She doesn't try to make it seem like she's better than anyone else. She always likes to show that she still has imperfections and everything, and that she's not like the best person in the world. But to me, she is, because she's an amazing teacher. But she doesn't try to seem above anyone else or anything.
I love my students. I tell them all the time. I don't call this a job. I mean, I have too much fun here. It's wonderful. I love connecting with my students. I know that we get so caught up in our curriculums. We get so caught up in, oh, I've got to get to this benchmark and I've got to make sure these kids hit this data point. Yet those are all important things, but human connection is first. You know, I remember when I did my internship as a teacher, during a mock interview, the director said to me, "You are a human first before you are a teacher." And those words have resonated with me throughout my career, because human connection is the most important thing. You know, a computer can read data and, you know, it can tell you how kids are doing and it can offer support. It can, you know, try to make things better in terms of tracking and whatnot, but human connection can't be forgotten. And it's not just about teaching kids content. It's about teaching kids to be, you know, the individuals we'd like to give back to society. It's about making them well-rounded individuals that are eventually going to get to that point of where they have to be able to step outside of their own perspectives and understand the world around them and how to navigate it. This school year has really illuminated inequity more than anything. I mean, there's just so many different challenges that we don't even realize exist until we're in a situation like this. And then we're like, oh my gosh, like this, you've got to make it fair, you know? So like one of my biggest goals when we came to hybrid was, how was I going to make sure that the kids at home still felt included? Because I didn't want them to feel excluded. And I hope that it changes education for the better when we realize, hey, even though we might be back in brick and mortar, we still have to remember not every kid is in the same situation.
You know, I think one of the things that struck me that I've always known about Donna is she shared her essay with me. It just increased the appreciation I have for who she is as an educator, but who she is as a person. You know, being an individual, an Arab American and a Muslim, she's able to convey to students that deep appreciation that they really should have for everybody they encounter, and that they shouldn't limit their perspective of individuals to, as she put it in her essay, to the single story.
I think it's just an even exchange. Like, I get to learn more about them, they get to learn more about me, and it's just a very open conversation, and that's what I want in my classroom. I think for some of my teachers, I never had that environment. Like, I definitely felt like I was excluded or marginalized because I was an Arab Muslim, because I wore a headscarf. I was viewed as very different. I just would never want my kids to feel like that. So with my students, like, it's just that learning experience of how can we better help and serve one another. So they make it all worth it.